Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining our session. We are back with another interesting session. This is episode number 9, where we will be talking about VPC and all other networking stuff which is required for our AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. Thank you for continuingly attending this bootcamp for us. Let we have an interesting speaker today with us, Monish. Before I pass it on the control to him, let me quickly do a couple of housekeeping stuff. So, AWS Madurai Group, welcome you all. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. Before I pass it on the stage to our speaker, let me talk about a couple of housekeeping stuff. Please be ensured that this session is conducted in a virtual mode, so you be aware about each of other's competencies, expertise. This user group is full of the beginners as well as the experts. So please allow the stage chance to talk about, help other people to clear their doubts, be welcome and respectful, allow be more friendly, patience, and allow the understand the difference in terms of the technical skills, difference in terms of the background or the language. Please ensure that you are very open and kind, and please all of your questions and queries posted in the chat. A speaker will look forward to answer everyone, and I'll ensure that all of the questions are been answered before we call a wrap for today. So please be open. Any questions, any queries you have throughout the session, put it in the chat, which may be as basic as how should I start, or where are the recording of the sessions. Any sorts of questions, put it in the chat. We'll answer them as and when we get a chance. Again, this is episode number 9. We have done a couple of good episodes in the past. If you are attending for the first time or you have missed a particular episode, don't worry, we have all the recordings which have been published under AWS User Group Madurai YouTube channel as well as AWS User Group India. You can directly search for Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp and you'll get all those videos from there. As well as you can join our Slack channel bit.ly AWS, join AWS MGU. The link is flashing in the screen. All the speakers, along with the experts, are part of our Slack workspace. So if you have any questions, queries, or anything you need and guidance, please do join our Slack channel. We'll be happy to answer them. So we all know that, I mean, this is not new. We have been in the 9th episode. So a couple of things why we are doing this bootcamp. What was our motto? The motto was pretty simple, that we want everyone to be cloud certified and have their stepping stone on the cloud. And that's why we started a beginner friendly, more practice stress driven. So you just get more and more hands on. We also have certificate for attendees. The folks who have been joining, we are keeping a close track of it. We'll give you certification of attendance. We'll also give you a chance for hands-on lab. So all of our sessions are packed with hands-on lab, as well as there is one doubt clearing session is already done. Couple of more in the pipeline. So please do join. Ask the question within the session, as well as if you have any other questions, put in the Slack, or we'll also have dedicated session. Last but not the least, we'll also have giveaways in terms of different modes. We'll have 50% certification voucher off for the folks who perform all the tasks. They've already done the task. 2 tasks are already done. Many more are in the pipeline. Please join our Slack workspace announcement channel, where we'll keep posting all those different announcements. If you want to register it, the link is already there flashing on the screen. So please register it today. With that, let me quickly introduce the speaker for today's session. So today's session will be talking about VPC, networking, security, and compliances all around the AWS networking services, where we have Monish. He's a software engineer working at HCL and very much experienced when it comes to provisioning and setting up the VPCs. Let me bring Monish on the stage. Hi, Monish. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking. So I think our people, I can see there are many people excited, are on the line and looking forward to hear from you. So I won't waste much of my time and talking about describing a AWS User Group Madurai. I can talk about for that for 1 hour without wasting a single minute. Let me pass on the control to you. Best of luck. And let me bring your screen on here. So stage is here. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. On behalf of AWS User Group Madurai, I welcome you all to the ninth session of AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp on VPC and networking, security, and compliance. Without wasting any time, we'll go on to the slide. Okay, we'll see about VPC right now. VPC is a virtual private cloud. Amazon VPC lets you to provision a logically isolated section of AWS Cloud where we can launch AWS resources in a virtual network that we can define. Like virtual private cloud is just a separation of resources from your actual organization. Like we can group our resources, the entire organization's resources as public resources and private resources. So this grouping are of resources are known as subnets. Like these are subnets are just the range of IP addresses in our VPC. These subnets control either the resources are publicly or privately available. So we'll talk about the public facing resources. For the traffic from the public internet to flow into and out of our VPC, we must attach the internet gateway. Like basically, internet gateway is like a doorman standing in front of the door. Any data which flows from and to the internet flows through the internet gateway. As you can see in this image, you can see the internet gateway standing right in front of our VPC. Any data which is passing from our resources to the internet, or the data which is passing from the internet to the VPC should be passing through the internet gateway. So we can blindly like assume that internet gateway is as a doorman. Okay, so we are speaking about the private resources. To allow access to the private resources, we want a virtual private gateway which allows traffic only from an approved network. So public resources can be anything like which is directly available to the public. And private resources are only limited access to the developers or the members of the organization. So this is just the difference between the private and the public resources. This private gateway allows us to create the VPN connection between the private network to the VPC. When in the case of a public resource, we had an internet gateway. In case of a private resource, we need a private gateway which establishes a VPN connection from the private network to the VPC. To achieve a private and dedicated connection to those resources, AWS has a solution called AWS Direct Connect. Using AWS Direct Connect, we can achieve a connection to those private resources. This helps in meeting compliance needs and tackle bandwidth issues. Obviously, when we are using cloud, obviously the customers would have been thinking about security. The two main concerns of customers using cloud is bandwidth and this thing, security. So these Amazon like provide solutions, seamless solutions to tackle all those issues. So working of VPC. A route table, there will be a route table inside VPC which contains set of rules to determine the direction of traffic flow from and to the VPC. This route table is just like a set of rules, like if the packet coming from internet has a certain rule and is from a particular destination, it can pass through the VPC. Otherwise, it cannot. The same applicable applies to the reverse rule also. A subnet is implicitly associated with the main route table. Like when we create a default subnet, it is defaultly associated with the main route table. So we can specifically associate a route table to subnet and define subnet particular routes. Like for example, these subnet particular routes are, for example, these resources must access only these parts of internet. So these are the particular rules of the routing table. The gateways and interfaces ranges are specified in the table. Yeah, obviously, like when we want to reach a destination, we have to provide the route through which the packet has to travel. And we can connect one VPC to other VPC using VPC peering connection between two VPCs and enable it to route traffic privately. We can also create transit gateway to use it as an interconnection between VPCs. As we already said, this routing table does not like only provide the connection between the outside internet and your private connection, but also we can provide a connection. We can establish a connection between two other VPCs running inside the same organization. So the transit gateway comes into action over there. Access control list. Yeah, as I obviously said, like security is the main concern of cloud computing. If a customer has to produce their data to the cloud, they obviously need some security to be established over the cloud. So one part of security is access control list. each packet from internet gets checked against ACL. So ACL is like a stateless thing. Okay, like it doesn't remember which packet came from which destination. It just plainly checks the every packet which flows through it. Whether like ACL has a set of rules like allow and deny. So if a packet comes through it, and if for example the rule specifies as allow, then the ACL will allow the packet into VPC. Otherwise, if the rule is specified as deny, then the packet gets denied and the packet gets dropped off. ACLs are a set of rules that decide whether the packet has permissions to enter or leave the subnet. Yeah, obviously. Like, for example, the ACL has rules like if the packet is coming from this destination, it should be implicitly denied. Or if it's coming from this destination, it should be accepted. Like I'll say one common example for this. For example, imagine there are a set of developers and a set of salesperson. Salesperson might have access to another entirely different set of resources, and this thing developers have access to entire set of different resources. Like imagine if a salesperson wants access to any of the developers resource. That's not right, right? So like the salesperson should not have access to these developers data, and the reverse is also applicable. Like the developer must not have access to sales data, and it may be confidential to the sales team. So a packet from a sales team must not reach the developers resources, and a packet from developers team must not reach the sales team. So these rules would be specified by the access control list. And going on to the security groups will be providing instance levels network security. When thinking of ACLs, it will be providing a packet level security. While thinking of security groups, these security groups will be providing an instance level network security. Security groups provide an instance level access, and different instances can set rules on which packet may enter or leave them. It may sound like ACLs and security groups are all the same, but it has a difference. We'll see in the upcoming slides. Every EC2 instance automatically comes with a security group. I'll show all these in the hands-on session. For now, you just remember that every EC2 instance automatically comes with a security group. By default, these security groups have block all. So I already told like these security groups or ACLs have two rules called allow and block. So these security groups have a default rule to block every packets flowing through them. We have to, if for example we need to specify any particular packet rules, we have to specify we have to go and modify the security group. Yeah. ACLs as a security groups. Yeah, but you would have been wondering what's the difference between ACLs and security groups. One key difference between security groups and ACLs is that ACLs are stateless, whereas security groups are stateful. Stateless in the sense ACLs do not remember any packets which are flowing through them. It's whenever a packet comes in, the job of ACL is just to check what is going on. That's all. It doesn't remember like, okay, fine, this is the packet which I have previously visited. Okay, you are allowed, you are denied. It doesn't remember anything. Well, whereas a security group is not like that. Security groups have inbuilt memory, and it remembers which packet flows through it. ACLs allow all inbound and outbound traffic, whereas security groups denies all inbound traffic and allows all outbound traffic. As I already said, these ACLs and security groups are just like a doorman standing in front of your door. Imagine that ACL allows all inbound and outbound. If, for example, ACL rule is to allow everyone, so it will allow everyone every packets it will allow like inbound and outbound traffic. If a packet enters the VPC or exits the VPC, it will allow everything by default. Whereas the security groups, it denies all inbound traffic. whatever packets come to the VPC, it will be denied by default and allows all outbound traffic. This is the default, all doorman also used to do the same. Like if 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 the person is known by the doorman, he'll allow inside. Whereas when you go inside the room, or if you go inside the room, you can freely exit at any point of time. So this is the basic difference between ACLs and security groups. Yeah, and coming on to the security in cloud computing and security in AWS, there is something called as shared responsibility model. Like, as part of AWS, yeah, Amazon also provides all set of security measures to provide the data of, to protect the data of the users. Like both the AWS and customers are responsible for the security of data in the cloud. Yeah, obviously. For example, when take an example of you building a house. When you build a house, the contractor is obviously responsible for building a strong foundation for a house. Yeah, obviously, like he has to build strong walls, he has to build strong roofs and all to avoid the building collapsing. And also, after, okay, the contractor has done a great job, the builder has done a great job. You cannot leave this entirely to the contractor's job, right? You only have to provide, protect your own data. So what you will do, you're taking the house example itself, you will attach locks, you will attach, different types of securities for to protect the valuable assets inside your house. The same is in the case of AWS. So the customers are responsible for the security in the cloud, and AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud. Yeah, AWS is AWS is providing the foundation for the cloud platform. So obviously they will provide, they will provide the security for they'll obviously provide the security for their platforms. As a customer, you have to be responsible for your valuable assets in the cloud, which you are placing in the cloud. For example, you have to configure strict firewall rules. You have to configure a load balancer. You have to do everything on your part to secure your data. The foundation would be provided by AWS, and the foundation is strong. So this is the shared responsibility model. So as I already said, the customer is responsible for security in the cloud, whereas for example, this data application and operating system, whatever you apply in the cloud is responsible for this. The security of these is responsible by you. When coming to the AWS part, it's responsible for the security of the cloud. Yeah, the AWS is providing you the platform. So for example, the hypervisor, the network, the physical layers. AWS obviously has data centers. Amazon obviously has centers, right? Those physical the security of those data centers, the network security of those data centers will be provided by AWS. This is the more detailed share responsibility model, wherein the customer is responsible for the data, security of their data, platform, applications, and identity access management. He is also responsible for the operating system, network, and firewall configuration. As already said, firewall is the most important thing when you are placing things in, your data in cloud. Because yeah, there will be obviously malicious attackers waiting to steal your data. So you have to be responsible enough and provide a strong firewall configuration. And also client side data encryption and data integrity authentication must also be done. There's client side data encryption and the server side encryption. You have to do both. And coming on to the AWS side, it's responsible for the security of the cloud. It provides security for the software, which are obviously seeing through the eyes, which is the platform for the AWS. It also provides security for compute, storage, database, and networking. It provides a physical security. Yeah, this is the physical security. Physical security is the global infrastructure. It provides security for the global infrastructure. Then the regions, availability zones, and edge locations. These are all would be covered by the security of these all will be covered by AWS. So this is a shared responsibility model. And coming to user permissions and access, yeah, like when coming to access, we have already known about access control lists. So access control lists are not only enough for providing entire security to the data present in the cloud. So when we create an AWS account, we are giving the root user privileges. This root user privileges will be having the privileges of you have the entire access to your own data. Like you are the root user, and you don't have any restrictions. You have complete access to your data, and this root users will create other user accounts, and he would be able to access the data with restrictions. The root user is the owner of the account and logs in with multi-factor authentication. Yeah, multi-factor authentication is very crucial. This multi-factor authentication is playing a major part in providing the security of the software. As you already know, you might have been aware of these authenticator apps where they provide a temporary code. You have to after entering credentials, after verifying those credentials, you have to again provide your temporary codes, temporary codes to access into your account. This is a multi-factor authentication. Like the username and password is your first factor of authentication, and your authentication codes are your second factor of authentication. This is only two factor authentication. You can for securing more and more, you can keep on adding factors of authentication like your biometrics. These are all like an example of multi-factor authentication. Access and control any resources in the account. It can give control to other users using AWS IAM. As you already know, AWS IAM is already has been taken as a session in our user group. This IAM will be providing which user should be accessing which data in our cloud. Yeah. Coming to distributed denial of service attacks, these are the most prominent attacks in the previous times, like wherein you slow down the server, like slow down or shut down the application's ability to function properly. Imagine you are waiting for one resource. You have entered, for example, maybe Google. So when you are a legitimate user, you are a normal user, you are trying to serve Google. Imagine a hacker or a malicious user is trying to attack Google, wherein he sends a malicious packet. He tries to slow down the application. He obviously he'll overwhelm the system to a point that it can no longer operate normally. Like he'll be providing, you are giving just one request. The malicious user may have been given like thousands of requests. Like obviously, when thousands of requests are sent at the same time, sent parallelly, obviously the server would have been slowed down. So that is the distributed denial of service attack. Like this legitimate user, like I am a normal user trying to serve a thing, like I am not able to access the service, but like it's being entirely slowed down by another malicious user. This is only denial of service. Like this hack like malicious users leverage other machines in internet to cooperate with the attack and make it as a distributed attack. Yeah, this is a very clever trick performed by malicious users. Like they will convert other machines in over the internet as zombie machines. These zombie machines will do the task for the malicious user. Yeah, like for example, the entire attack cannot be trusted on malicious user's system. His system may not be able to properly do that. Attacking a whole huge infrastructure might not be possible. So when it comes to then what he or she does is he'll leverage other machines. He'll gain access to other machines in the internet or the same network. Once he gets access to every other systems in the network, he'll he'll try to do the same attack on the same website. Just like the count is more. Like instead of doing in a single system, the attacker does it in many systems. So obviously, like the application or the website might have been slowed down. So this is the distributed denial of service attack. So types of DDoS attacks, as we can see, is UDP flood attacks. UDP flood attacks is destination forging. For example, I am trying to access a website. The malicious user has an intention. For example, I am trying to access a website A. So the malicious users target is website B. Okay, so like when I am trying to access website A, the malicious users come in between. He'll forge my destination. Like my packet will not be delivered to website A or application A. Instead, he will forge my forge my request to application B. So obviously, like I am not intended to visit website B, whereas the attacker's my thought process is achieved. He can he can try to slow down instead of using his own system for that attack. So this is UDP flood attack. And HTTP level attacks. Yeah. uh, Imagine we are giving one request to website A, same website A, we are giving one HTTP request. Imagine what happens if thousands, thousands, 10,000s of requests are being passed at the same time. Even when yeah, in a fraction of second, if the thousands and 10,000s of requests are being flooded to the server, how can the server manage the same? So obviously I cannot manage and it will be slowed down. The next thing is slow low risk attacks, pretending to have a slow bandwidth. For example, imagine I am standing in a shop. Imagine I am standing in a bakery. The first, I am standing, in a line. I am standing in the second position. Like the first user, the person standing in the first of the line, he pretends to be very slow in his task. Okay, he'll order that whatever his requirements very slowly. Obviously I'll get I'll get very much upset, why is this guy taking so much amount of time. That exactly is called as a low risk attack. So the I am a legitimate user. I am I am a legitimate user. I am a normal user trying to buy something from a website or or an application. The malicious user pretends to be having a very slow bandwidth. He'll occupy the entire space of that website, and yeah, the normal users like me could not be able to access the website. So these are the types of DDoS attacks. And coming to DDoS attack solutions, when coming to DDoS attack solutions, we can configure a security group for UDP floods. Yeah, security groups is an efficient solution for preventing UDP flood attacks. We can also configure elastic load balancer for slow low risk attacks. Yeah, load balancer. The task of a load balancer is to balance the load coming to the server. So when we configure a load balancer in a such a way that if the slow request, the malicious user is pretending to have a slow bandwidth, right? So he can be separated from the other users, and the website can be seamlessly accessed. AWS Shield is one of the solution with AWS WAF. WAF is a web application firewall. So this web application firewall can be used for more sophisticated attacks. This web application firewall has extensive machine learning capabilities to identify the attack vectors. For example, these web application firewalls would have been trained to identify which is a normal request and which is an abnormal request. So when this web application firewall is trained in such a way, when a malicious or a abnormal packet comes, it'll efficiently stop the packet. Okay, no, you are not access. You are not allowed to access the website. So by this, the DDoS attacks can be efficiently prevented. Yeah, when it comes to security measures in cloud, obviously encryption is one of the key key part of maintaining your data. Okay, your if for example I am storing my sales data details, I'm storing my sales reports in my cloud. What if what if my cloud is my network is not encrypted, my network is not safe. Okay, it is vulnerable to attackers. So what will the malicious user do? He will come, he'll access my network, then he'll access my data, and the data would also be in a plain text. It will be human readable. So when it's readable, he can steal the data. So that is what that's why we encryption comes into a part. When we encrypt the data, then the data would be transformed into unreadable format. So when it's an unreadable format, obviously the malicious user cannot access our data. This encryption can be there are very sophisticated techniques for achieving this encryption. We have key based encryption methods. We have many encryption methods just to protect the data. For example, key based in key based encryption, we have a public key and private key pair. We would have this private public key. The data would be locked by the keys, and a particular keys only can be able to unlock the data. That's what the otherwise, if it's not unlocked, the data would be in a very messed up format. Only when we have the key, we can unlock the data, that is decrypting the data, and then we can access the data in the normal form. When it comes to encryption, there are two types: encryption at rest and encryption in transit. Encryption at rest, AWS has a great solution called AWS Key Management Service, that is KMS. This KMS helps in managing encryption keys that are used in encrypting data. As I already said, in this key-based encryption systems, we have to store, even though if it's a key to encrypt or decrypt your data, these keys also have to be maintained properly. Obviously, when coming back to your home example now, when coming to your home examples, you cannot keep your key in a very insecure place. You cannot keep your keys in a place where everyone can be accessible. You keep your house keys in somewhere a personal space or a private space. Okay, so this personal space is called the solution provided for personal space by Amazon is called as KMS. So encryption in transit. For example, encryption at rest deals with data, static data. This data is resting in the database server. It's not being moved anywhere. So encryption in transit means the data is being actively, actively being exchanged from from one service to another. The data would be obviously when the data if a data is in transit, it has to be secured. So data in movement between one service to another service. As I already said, this is encryption in transit. You already would have been known this secure socket layer. You at some point of in your lifetime, you would have you would have come across this word called SSL. This is a very famous technique, to protect the data. Protect the data in transit. Yeah, this certificates will be able to verify the authenticity of the website. So this SSL and certificates are an efficient way to encrypt the data in transit. So these are the now we'll see some of the products provided by Amazon to provide security to your data. When you are providing your data, you are trusting Amazon. So obviously they have to provide some products, and they have to give trust to safeguard your data. So one of the product is called Amazon Inspector. This helps to improve security and compliance of AWS deployed applications. It also runs automated security assessments against the infrastructure. This Amazon inspector checks for deviations of security practices and exposes of instances. So, whenever you configure data in an inspector, you configure your application in an inspector. This inspector, will automatically, will keep on assessing your the security of your application. This is what called as an Amazon inspector. Then this network configuration reachability piece. This is an Amazon agent and security assessment service is also being done. The next product is Amazon Guard Duty. This Amazon Guard Duty actively analyzes this continuous stream of metadata generated from account. Yeah, when you're being when you're using your account, when you're a user, when you're providing some service to other customers, or you're running a service on your own, obviously metadata would be generated. This metadata would be the Amazon Guard duty is to monitor this metadata which is being continuously generated. This guard duty uses integrated threat intelligence known as malicious IP addresses, anomaly detection, and machine learning to identify threats more accurately. As I already said, Amazon has been doing a great job in deploying machine learning to every of its products, to provide an intelligence service. So, Guard Duty is one of such products which efficiently uses machine learning, to identify threats more accurately. This Guard Duty runs independently from other services. You can run Guard Duty in your background, and this doesn't affect your the normal functioning of your applications. This is the last point. It won't affect the performance of your existing infrastructure. You can provide an EC2 instance which is being running, but this Guard Duty would be running in the background, and it doesn't affect the performance of your EC2 instance. The next product is Amazon Certificate Manager, which is popularly known as ACM. This ACM handles the complexity of creating, storing, and renewing public and private SSL, TLS, X5.9 certificates, and keys that protect your AWS websites and applications. You can provide certificates for your integrated AWS services either by issuing directly with ACM or importing third-party certificates into ACM system. When you have when you visit any application or a website, you would have come across a word called certificate. This certificate, this certificates only provides the integrity of the website. For example, when I am visiting some website, this certificate provides me the details, like this website is only trustworthy. This is the original website. So that is the information provided by the certificate. All these certificates will be managed by Amazon Certificate Manager. The next product is Amazon Macy. This Amazon Macy fully manages data security and privacy service that uses machine learning and pattern matching to discover and protect sensitive data in AWS. As already said, Amazon has been actively integrating machine learning into their products. Amazon Macy is one of such products which uses machine learning and pattern matching to identify what's being abnormal in your application, or what's going out of your hand. This Macy provides an inventory of Amazon S3 buckets which are unencrypted and publicly accessed or shared outside. The next product is Amazon Detective. Amazon Detective makes it easy to analyze, investigate, and quickly identify the root cause of potential security issues or suspicious activities. Like this, we would have obviously, when you configure a website, you for the ease of the developer, we would have configured logs, right? These logs, these logs are used to identify what's going wrong, what's going wrong in my website, who's trying to access what, which part of the website. This is only the the normal functioning of the log. The similar similar functionality is achieved by Amazon Detective. It will be able to analyze, investigate, and identify the root cause of the potential security issue. For example, if I am if a malicious user is giving a denial of service attack to your application, this Amazon Detective will be able to identify that okay, some user is trying to DOS your server. He is trying to slow down your server, so it will alert the website owner or the application owner. This detective also uses machine learning, statistical analysis, and graph theory to build linked set of data, and that enables you to easily conduct faster and more efficient security investigations. Yeah, this AWS Artifact is another product. This is a central resource for compliance-related information that matters. Your very critical data, your very very critical business-related data will be handled by AWS Artifact. This provides on-demand access to AWS security and compliance reports and online agreements. We'll now see a hands-on demo for configuring VPCs and security in VPCs. Yeah, and now I'm logging on to my AWS management console. Yeah, this is my console home. First, we'll be configuring our VPC. So I'm searching VPC in the search box. Yeah, this is the VPC. Yeah. Firstly, I'm going to find what are the VPCs configured by me. So I'm going on to your VPCs. As I already said, AWS Amazon provides a default VPC when you are creating your own account. So this is the default VPC provided by AWS. As you can see, this VPC is provided. It has the DHCP option set. It has the routing table. It has also an access control list. Okay, we'll now create our own VPC. So I'm clicking on the create VPC button now. This VPC, for example, I am now in the North Virginia location. So I'd be able to create a VPC in this location. Okay, so I'm creating a VPC. I'm giving a name to my VPC. Example, I'm creating a VPC called as demo. Okay, this is the name of my VPC. You can name your VPC according to your business needs. Now this is the IPv4 CIDR. We'll be going on with the IP address 10.0.0.0/16. This is the network address which I'm giving to my VPC. Like whatever resource which I configure into my VPC will be allocated some network address within this address range. This is like 10.0.0.0. This network range, my any of my resources will be allocated. So and I am not specifying any CIDR IPv6 CIDR block as of now. Now I'm going to create my VPC. Hold on. Yeah. Now my VPC is created right now, and see it has the DHCP has been set. The route table also has been set. The access control list has also been set. Okay, we'll now go on to subnets. We have created a VPC now. Now we have to configure the subnets which are been which sit inside my VPC. These are the subnets which are default by default available given by Amazon. So for example, these are the subnets will be available each in one availability zone. Okay, so we'll be creating a subnet once. Yeah, I am selecting my VPC which is demo. I'm not creating a VPC. I'm not creating a subnet in my default VPC. I'm creating a subnet in my demo VPC. Okay, so like associated VPC CIDs, as I already tell, 10.0.0.0, will be the starting address, like the IP address for every of my resources inside my CIDR. Okay, so this is the first subnet I'm going to create. So for example, I'm going to create a subnet called as, imagine demo is my company name, and I'm creating a subnet name called as, subnet is just like a partition, there should be resources, right? There should be resources which could be, access only to a certain department, and resources which should be accessible to another set of department. So I'm creating a subnet called as, for example, sales. So this subnet is specifically for salespersons. They can access the resources and instances running inside this sales subnet, and without any rules configured, they cannot access the other subnets like information or instances. And I'm going on to select the availability zone. For now, I'll create an, the availability zone as US East 1A. And in CI, I'm going to, where the entire, the entire IP address range for, my VPC is 10.0.0. And now I'm going to provide the IP address range for my subnet. You know, for with this address, the resources running inside my subnet will be getting, the IP addresses from this range. So I'm again providing a IP address range as 10.0.0.0/24. So I am providing this IP address range to my resources inside this, this subnet. So okay, I'll go on to create this subnet. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, this subnet has been created. See, yeah, this sales. See, the subnet which I have created has been showing up here, and this is the the IP address range of the subnet. And also we have like 251 available IPv4 addresses, which means you can allocate 251 resources inside your subnet. And also it is in the availability zone which I have mentioned. So this is the subnet which I have configured. Now we'll go on to configure our internet gateway. As I already said, internet gateway is just like a doorman. Doorman standing in front of you. Like he'll allow or deny the packets which are coming to our VPC. Okay. So first, I'll be creating my own internet gateway. The name tag would be this is a user defined name tag. I'm giving it as a demo IG, and I'm creating it as this thing. Now, this internet gateway would be created, but it will not be attached to any of the VPCs. It will not be attached to even to the default VPC. So, in order to attach, in order to say this internet gateway to, for example, in order to configure this IG to my VPC, I am giving this, attached to a VPC. So I'm searching my VPC, which is the demo, right? So I'm attaching my internet gateway to this VPC, and I'm clicking on attach internet gateway. Yeah, and now this internet gateway has been attached to my VPC. So we'll now go on to route table. So and then we'll create a route table from the scratch. This is the route table's name. So I'm giving it as demo route table. And the VPC which I'm configuring it as the demo. I'm attaching it to the demo VPC. Now I'm creating the route table. Yeah, the demo route table has been created successfully. Okay. So this is just like we have created a routing table, and now the duty of us is to add routes to this routing table. So first we have to go on to edit routes. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, while going on to edit routes, this is the page where you can add custom routes to your routing table. So I'm adding a route called this. I'm giving a thing called 0.0.0.0/0, which means allow everything. Every IP address. This meaning is every IP address. Okay, so I'm attaching it to internet gateway. Okay, so what I'm basically saying is from the internet or to the internet, any device can be transmitting their packets. This is what the rule which I am defining. For example, you can define your own custom rules. Like for example, packets from sales department must not go to development department, or packets from development department must not go to sales department. You can edit your you can add custom rules here. Now I'm saving my changes here. I'm this route has been created successfully, and now I'm going on to so yeah, on the VPC side, everything is fine. We have we have created our VPC, we have created our subnets, we have also configured our internet gateways, we have also configured route table. Route table in the sense like we also define how we have ordered we also added a custom route this which IP address which must be able to access the other IP address. So we have also defined this thing. We have also defined the routing rules. Now going on, now I'll be adding this EC2 instance. I'll be adding this EC2 instance to this VPC now. Yeah, I'm going on searching EC2. Yeah, this is my EC2 instance. I'm now going to configure my EC2 instance. First, I'm going to launch instance. Yeah, I'm giving a name to it. I'm giving it as demo. I'm giving the name as demo EC2. And I'm now configuring the operating systems of the EC2 instance. I'm giving it as Microsoft. Okay. It can be anything. It can be this EC2 instance can be according to your own needs. So here, for example, I'm giving it as a Windows instance. um, yeah, and also this you can see if you are a student and you are learning, you are just practicing cloud environment, you can go on for the free tier. Or if you if you want to suit this cloud computing, or this you want to suit this AWS into your business, you can go on for your higher higher images. Okay, this is the instance type. The details would be as follows. T2 micro, it contains one CPU and 1 GB of memory. Uh, uh, okay, now we'll be going on to this keypad. This keypad is only used to log into our system. I have created a keypad called as UGMDU, and I'm using this keypad to log into my EC2 instance. And going on to the network settings, this EC2 instance will be standalone for now. In order to associate this EC2 instance with my VPC, I have to edit here. Here, see the default, the default VPC which my EC2 instance is associated is the default VPC. So I'm going on and changing this VPC settings to demo, which the this is the demo VPC which I have created now. So I am selecting here, and also I am associating this this EC2 instance with my sales. You can, like if, for example, if I have created other departments like development, I can also, associate this EC2 instance with any other subnets. For now, I am associating this, this instance to the sales department. And also, like auto assign public IP, yeah, we have to enable this to, have a, for the deployment purposes. And yeah, here comes the security options for the EC2 instances. Like for example, I am creating a new security group. Yeah, and like this security groups would be, given here. You can configure your own security groups, and now I am launching the instance. Yeah, give it a minute to launch. Yeah, if this no, like this launch has been initiated, we'll see now. Yeah, see, my EC2 instance has been, the state is now pending. The system is being booting up. We'll see. We'll see how it is being associated. Yeah, as you can see, it has been, assigned a public IPv4 address. This IPv, we can, associate it with this with any website name. And for private access, this is the private IPv4 address. As you, we have given the IP address range for the sales subnet as 10.0.0.0/24. So within that subnet, it is automatically allocated, allocating me an IP address called 10.0.0.195. And also, like, yeah, these are the host names and other details of this EC2 instance. And this EC2 instance would be associated to my, VPC, this private VPC, and you can keep on adding EC2 instance according to your own needs. Yeah, this is the this is the hands-on for creating VPCs, and you can also find other security products like guard duty. Yeah, see. Yeah, you can also find other security products which I have mentioned in my presentations. All these can be found here. May see everything could be find according to your needs. You can configure the Amazon's products into your VPC. And yeah, this is we have come to an end of my presentation. Yeah, host, you can take over.
Thanks, Monish. I think that was really great the way you explained the VPCs and rest of the security concept. I think that really helps. Folks, I would request if you have any questions and queries, please put it in the chat. Uh, in meantime, let me share my screen and talk about a couple of things. But please, if you have any questions and queries, post in the chat, or if you are watching it as a recording mode, please put it in the form of a comments. We'll ensure that we do reply, or for sure you can join our Slack. We are also part of Slack workspace. The link is flashing on the screen. So, couple of things why you should look forward for AWS User Group Madurai. So, AWS User Group Madurai, it's what are its uniqueness or why you should join. There are a couple of things, right? First, you get to join and network with AWS experts as well as different community members. We have a co-organizer of AWS Madurai who's an ML hero. So you can talk to such expert people out there, as well as there are new people who are pretty starting their journey. It's a mix of audience across different scales of competency. So you should look forward to it. You will also, as a part of the community, you'll also get special access to AWS contents and event updates, swags and vouchers as defined by AWS User Group India. There's a highly communicative community is there, so you get knowledge sharing, different kinds of learning, explore how different certifications are like. As you can see, this boot camp, and last but not the least, but you also get opportunity to either hire people or to get a job detail out of it. Some of the key innovative stuff about AWS User Group Madurai, as I talk about network and learn, there are people, experts there out of it, right? You can learn from them. Job hiring, certification, there are many such opportunities you get around it. Content wise, we do have different forms of events that takes place offline on our Slack channel, like talks, we have blogs, video, reels, and more. As I mentioned in the previous slide, this community is for zero to hero. So if you are even a beginner, just know about AWS, none of the services out of it, still this user group is for you. Or you're the expert, still this user group is for you. It's from zero to hero. We support all different regional language like English, Tamil, or any other one. And swags, as you get it, as you participate, like in this boot camp or other event, you will get different form of swags as well as vouchers as per the decided thing. The link is here. You can join us bit.ly, join AWS MGU. This is our Slack workspace link. And we do also have presence on other social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Do follow us, AWS User Group Madurai, which is at the rate AWS UG MDU. We do have Slack as our main channel, but these are other presence. So do subscribe and get notification for our next event. So that's all from my end. We'll open for any sorts of questions and queries if you have. So please, if you have any questions and queries, put it in the chat. Monish or I'll be happy to answer them. We'll take a minute or two. If you have no questions, then we can wrap up. Otherwise, please post the questions in a chat. Cool. I think we are good here. Thanks, Monish, for spending your time from your evening. I think we don't have any questions from the audience. It seems like your teaching was very good. Yeah, I liked it a lot sitting in the backstage. So we are good for this session. Thank you for joining, audience. And yeah, please do subscribe us. Please do follow our Slack channel and other social media platform. We'll surely announce our next session very soon. So please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next session. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.